r/AskReddit. What question do you hate being asked? Would you like to install the Ask toolbar? Or perhaps AVG Safe Search? Here. Have some toolbars. Desktop strippers. Russian girlfriends. Horny housewives near you. Oh. The fun you'll have. When you're having a friendly debate with someone, and your voice climbs a decibel or two. Why are you getting so mad? I'm not getting mad, I'm just passionate about my view, I mean I'm mad now. It's a question version of calm down. Nothing makes me uncalm like being told to calm down. With my occupation, paleontologist, I quite often get asked something along the lines of which would win a fighter or a triceratops. Now, to the uninformed reader, this might seem like a good question. And I understand why it's asked, but it is not. The answer to essentially any dinosaur, barring some primarily marine species in a competition taking place in deep water, vs a triceratops is triceratops. Every single time. The triceratops is nature's perfect killing machine. An unholy creature conceived in a hateful orgy of several malicious deities. Made for the sole purpose of hitting on anything dumb enough to cross its path. Triceratops could weigh up to 18 tons. Were 10 feet tall at the shoulder, and had bones of a strength-weight ratio that is not even possible in the modern world due to changes in atmosphere. More than that, they were covered in subdermal plating that could withstand a modern chainsaw without breach. And they had no weak points. Now some experts are going to jump down my heathen throat and point out that plating was significantly thinner on their hindquarters and upper thighs. But this moronic grasp at an argument has wasted more time over the course of my life than any other. Triceratops, while bulky, were agile in a way that most dinosaurs weren't. Due mostly to an arrangement of spinal cartilage called hemispherical linking, where each vertebrae was joined not only to the one adjacent, but also the vertebrae on the other side of that. This allowed it to snap its whole body around in an instant, admittedly at the sacrifice of a wide range of axial motion. So long as its fore or hind legs were securely placed, its hindquarters were never going to be in contact in a fight. And even if by some chance they were, the plating was thinner but still existent. T-Rexes on the other hand sucked so fundamentally that only the vacuum of space and Ops Mom, I feel unclean even making that joke, could even come close to understanding. They were essentially useless hunters, relying on pack work. Various other species working symbiotically with them, and luck to even survive. They had arms that were unable to be used neither offensively nor defensively. They were the posh spice of the dinosaur world. They might look nice on a shirt, but realistically, they contributed nothing. So you tell me, who would win in a fight? A dinosaur whose entire existence relied on it being alive during a period where it was simply the least hitty of the group? Or a top-of-the-line death machine, comprising of heavy plating and 3 razor-sharp spikes jutting out from its head? That would kill for sport. It was a herbivore. A violent herbivore. TL. Dr. The Triceratops was a marvel of biological engineering, made purely for destruction. That username. Something my wife asks me a lot. What are you thinking about? I dunno. I'm just here spacing out while driving. I'm thinking about how many white lane divider stripes we've passed since we merged onto Highway 281. TBH, that answer is exactly what I'd want to hear. Just thinking about lane divider stripes, cool. Thanks for answering. I ask what you're thinking about because I'm bored, and I'm wondering if you're thinking of anything more interesting. Or I'm worried your blank face might mean you're thinking about something serious I should know about. Just thinking about road lines answers both questions soundly. See, this is the problem. If I'm sitting in the car staring at the white lane divider stripes, my wife often interprets my silence as avoiding her out of anger or annoyance. Then she asks what's on my mind. I tell her it's the white stripes on the road. Clearly that's not a very engaging thought process. So then she assumes I just made that up to cover up the fact that I'm actually thinking about how angry I'm at her. Yeah, all women read too much into my looking at the road while driving. Why aren't you smiling, pretty girl? And other variations. Because I saw your face. Ugly as shit. So how's the job hunt going? You know what you should do? Call the manager and speak to them about your application. This irrational buck up and just ask for a job attitude was so persistent with my grandparent. They still encouraged me to take printed copies to offices and ask what jobs they had going. Even more ridiculous, in that the jobs I was applying for were all in the tech field. And if they didn't accept email or digital copies, I would be worried about being employed there in the first place. Why are you so quiet? Because and no one is paying attention. This hit too close to home. I'm ethnically ambiguous. I hate being asked what are you? Either human or dancer. r/unexpected killers. How bad is your vision? How many fingers am I holding up? Can I try on your glasses? My vision is really bad. And I actually like playing these games with new people. Kind of a nice icebreaker sometimes. Yeah, then they go whoa holy hit when they try my glasses. Then I try to show them how bad it actually is with online simulators. But even those don't go low enough. Cries. When you're just tired and someone asks if you're okay and you say yes and they keep repeating it until you've convinced yourself everything in your life is horrible and you just want to crawl into a ball and cry. I usually just reply not anymore. If someone keeps asking, oh yeah, I'm one of those worriers who is too anxious to stop asking. This would shut me up. But I'd spend the rest of the day thinking you hated me and then convince myself you'd prefer it if I never spoke to you again. Then I would never speak to you again. I have mental issues. Working on it x.x. You're afraid of heights. Why did you join the Air Force? Weird how often people ask this, but don't think about it. I don't fly a ducking plane. My job is on the ground. Lol, the Air Force, where everyone is a pilot. Aviation in general, where everyone is either a pilot or works in the tower. Astronomer here. I don't do astrology. Please stop asking. Typical Aries. Even sarcastically, those comments make me angry. You know that you can say no if you don't want to come. Right? Yes. I know that. I just suffer from resting terrified face. In fairness, the fact that someone ensures you know it's fine to opt out is a courtesy, regardless of if it annoys you or not. Many people feel obligation or anxiety compelling them to accept when they otherwise wouldn't. I'm frequently that person that says yes even though I really want to say no. It's definitely an anxiety thing and I'm always telling people, if you don't want to come /do this /be here /etc you don't have to. Please don't feel like you have to. I say this because 1. I don't want anyone to say yes out of obligation or anxiety. And 2 because I don't want anyone to be forced to spend time with me if they don't want to because my anxiety constantly makes me feel like people are only around me because they feel sorry for me, because they feel like they have to be, or because it's easier for them to say yes to me than it is for them to say no. Where are you from? Me, Korea. North or South? Are you ducking serious? To be fair, I know a couple of North Koreans. SHHH. Not so loud. You're vegetarian? Where do you get your protein? They never want to know. They want to tell me I'm eating wrong. Just say oral X. But spudge is an animal product. So technically a vegan can't swallow. What's wrong? Nothing is ducking wrong. I'm 23. Stressed. Tired. And just don't feel like conversing with anyone. So the stress. Then. So college. Then. After finding out that I'm colorblind. What color is that then? Blue, but I thought you said you were colorblind. What color fingers am I holding up? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Especially in job interviews. My strengths include organization and leadership. For instance, I recently assembled a sniper team on that nearby rooftop. They have an excellent line of sight on your head. My weakness is being indecisive. If you give me the job, I might call them off. Fight Club now had corporate sponsorship. Why do you wear a fanny pack? I have severe anaphylaxis to all nuts, eggs, and assorted other things. This fanny pack holds 2 epinephrine auto-injectors that have and will continue to save my life. Please don't judge a book by its cover. They were having a sale at the Gap. Spend my nights with a roll of bubble wrap. Can I ask you a question? You just did. but I'll go ahead and give you another for free, which happens to be the answer I hate the most. Where are you really from? Where are you from? England. But like, where are you really from? I'm English. What about your family? English mother ducker. Hey, didn't you wear that sweater yesterday? Yes, I did. I have a washing machine. But it's not dirty. It doesn't smell. And it doesn't look worn in. It's just a sweater I decided to wear again cause I didn't see the need to wear another one and create more laundry. Kindly get the duck out of my face. Who asks this? 2 girls in my class would always ask that. But they were judgmental. Gossipy hitheads as kids so. Why are you so skinny? Don't you eat? Oh my. And yet you're rude if you reply. Why are you so fat? Don't you ever stop eating? Oh my. That's the standard Asian aunt question. Why are you still single? Or variation of. I hate that so much. I always say what do I know? That's what it is. I don't want to talk to my aunt or other people who typically ask that about how the first girl moved from a 2-hour drive to a 7-hour drive and it didn't work anymore. Or the next one who was with me for a short while went on vacation and met someone else. Or my latest experience with the GF of a good friend who said she's unhappy and tried to get with me, which I declined as she is still with said friend and I cannot do this, which wasn't easy to turn down honestly. It is a stupid question to ask, and more people should stop asking that, because there is no possible way to answer that positively. How did you get into my house? What are you gonna do with that knife? Why are you wearing my underwear? Are you okay? Is that you? Annie? Would you tell us? Is it in yet? I can never tell. Why don't you believe in God? Don't ask questions you don't want to hear the answer to. My whole family is Christian, and they ask this question once a year. They never seem to like my answer. Do you play basketball? All tall people. As an Asian over 6 feet. I get asked this constantly whenever I go to China. Why don't you have a girlfriend? You gay? Why don't you have a boyfriend? If anyone in my family this Thanksgiving asks why I didn't bring a boyfriend home, I'm absolutely telling them it's because I have a GF and I didn't think they'd accept us. I just tell them I prefer to get prostitutes and she would charge me to bring her to dinner. Been married a year, so when are you having kids? I've been married 6 months and it's already started. Someone asked me at my wedding reception / shouldn't you be sleeping? Just because I work nights doesn't mean that I sleep from 5:30 AM when I get home until 8 PM when I go to work. Seriously hated this. People were always like, I'm worried about you. You sleep all the time. Nope. Not even close. Get 5-9 hours just like everyone else. Granted, it is healthier to have a normal sleep schedule. But when you're a full-time student and work night shifts, getting home at 11 PM and going straight to bed isn't an option. After showing and eating it would already be 12:30. Sure, I could do that and wake up earlier to get stuff done. But studying in the morning typically does not work for me. Plus, when I wasn't studying I like to wind down for a few hours after work. Have a beer or two. Can't do that in the morning when I have to go to work later. The worst is the assumption that I was lazy cause I would sleep until around 10 AM or 12 PM. I can guarantee I was getting more done than the people criticizing me. What type of music are you into? Electro swing. I actually like this question because I get to introduce people to Caravan Palace. Update for Caravan Palace neat stuff and kick-ass videos. Ducking like and subscribe.